of mind awareness activities and all that, awareness,
Okay.
traffic, engagement across other stuff. Yeah, there are other. I think when we are entering into we are going deeper. I think we'll touch on some other stuff as well. So I think for
That's
me that
lovely.
is it for me. Yeah, yeah.
That's lovely. Awesome. Awesome. And along your journey, I can see you've had to run many campaigns from Unilever to the tech gadgets to building brands in Ghana. Right? What's the first step when it comes to developing an effective marketing communication strategy? What's the first step any business owner should really take in getting started in a good marketing communication strategy?
I think before you get to that level as a
Okay.
business, you had already figured out what's that single need you are solving to your customers. So, um, basically, what overacts is knowing your audience or knowing your customers, and in other words, you being able to define the primary customer persona as well. So, for me, it's knowing the audience, knowing your audience. That's the first step before anything. Before you decide on the channels, the platforms, the expense you want to do and all that, the communication approach and everything. Before you do everything, you have to know your audience, understanding their pain points, and also developing the primary their customer persona. Yeah,
That's awesome. So knowing your audience very well, having good research is a first
yeah,
step, and that makes so much
yes,
sense.
yeah.
But
But then
go
the
ahead.
so, sorry, but then the knowing your audience doesn't just end there. It runs through everything you are doing.
Mm,
When you are able to know your audience, I think knowing your audience is a continuous learning thing. You have to, because at the end of the day, their behavior changes and all that. So it's something that is very paramount when you are doing anything. Yeah.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So knowing your audience run throughout the entire journey, right?
Yeah.
There are business owners here who have spent their time, or most businesses have a clear idea of who their customers are and who they want to reach. And they even go on to run some marketing strategy. They start getting some sales here and there. But there's always something that seems missing in terms of scaling. And that's the question of credibility. Because people always have the question, can I trust you? Am I safe with my money being in your hands? Am I safe with my product, my service or my house, whatever they're offering? Am I safe with you? That question of credibility, how should it be solved from a marketing perspective? How does a business communicate credibility in that conquest of more visibility?
Okay, so for me, I think you when it comes to credibility, right? It all boils down to the individuals or people in the team that actually serve as the contact people between the business and your audience.
Mm,
You can do all the marketing activities. You can set up you can come up with the best products. But if you don't have a solid sales team that can actually create relationship, like commit themselves in serving customers, understanding them, being there for them and all that. At the end of the day, if you're able to achieve that, or if the sales team or yeah your sales team is able to be in sync with that, right? They are able in long term. It develops credibility, it develops loyalty. So I think it all boils down to you being able to solve you being able to solve the math team. That's for me. Yeah.
that's amazing. Having this,
Yeah.
I heard some keyword over there: team, a strong sales team, right? And then the relationship that's being built with the markets.
Yeah.
That's one of the key things that's there. There is definitely a lot that goes on in developing a marketing strategy that will work. As from where you are, from the things that you've experienced, what are some of the key things, maybe three things that you believe should never be missed out when you're trying to develop a strategy that will work? You can mention them in any order at all.
Hmm. Should I tell you the truth?
Talk to me. Talk to
Okay,
me.
you
We're
know
we're
that
keeping that.
I would want you to repeat the question again. I would want you to repeat the
Awesome.
question again.
So there are definitely so many things that come together to formulate a marketing strategy that will work. And sometimes
Okay.
you try this, you try that, it works, it doesn't work. You think it's this, you think it's that, but there are definitely some things that seems to always run out in a marketing strategy or in marketing communication strategy that works. What are some of those things that are always part of the marketing strategy that will work? Things that can never be removed. You can just mention three of them to just give us a brief idea.
Okay. I think when it comes to um there's this framework that I think I'm missing. But then for me, okay, some time back, so they're going some years back, we were doing something. We thought we were doing the best. Like by the end of it, we felt like there's something missing, you know. But then I came to realize that when it comes to media, okay, there is three forms of media, not content, okay. There's three forms of media, okay. The strategy at the end of the day has your idea or has your big idea, has what you want to communicate. I'm mentioning some, okay, but I would want to hit on the media bit because at the end of the day, you come up with the best ideas, you come with the best message and order. But if you are not very wild on your media forms, you are going to miss it. So now the media forms at the end of the day is where the execution takes place. Now, the key media forms we have are the earned media, the owned media, and the paid media. Now, when it comes to earned media, it's basically what you control, what a brand controls, the postings, the articles on the websites, the social media accounts, the DMs, the engagement across various platforms as well in general. And then when it comes to earned media, basically what you do with third-party platforms to get more traffic to your page or to your physical stores. And for instance, in our part of the world, the likes of influencer marketing coming in, the likes of you going to having stakeholder engagement at TV stations and all that. They are all earned media activities. And then we
Yeah.
have paid media. Paid media, for instance, you being able to pay on a particular platform to amplify your reach, amplify your engagement, and basically social media ads. But then it things have evolved to the extent that now you have to do a paid activity to earn the media for that is earn media. So sometimes mostly we have to pay influencers for them to create content for us. Then you earn the media. So right now in our in our current dispensation, you realize that you would have to pay. So the influencer marketing or PR activities have kind of merged with paid activities as well. So after you've come up, so in a nutshell, after you've come up with your big idea and the message, the key message, the people you are targeting, then you bring it down to um your your media activities. Now, aside your media activities, which I've explained the three forms of media, you then have to break it down. So your strategy should have an awareness phase, should have a consideration phase, and then should
Okay.
have a sustenance phase. The awareness phase can comprise of both um, breaking of communication and amplifying as well. And then your consideration
Yeah.
phase can basically be more of like figuring out ways to engage your audience or your target audience for. But then you are engaging them, but then it's still like it still have a plugin of the campaign you are running. And then your sustenance phase, after decisions have been made with your after decisions have been made by audience, your target audience, where there are people reaching out, inquiring about a product, where sales are also coming in, then you are able to sustain. So the sustenance phase, you come up with ideas that could, like basically content activities that could still let people um have that, like just keep your head up across the campaign, the rest of the duration left for the campaign to end. Yeah, so basically that, and then monitoring and evaluation, that is very, very important. You realize that you've launched the campaign, and then 2 weeks into the campaign, you have to check what is working, what isn't working. You have to optimize as well. So it is through your monitoring and evaluation and reporting that is when you are able to come up with all these things. So yeah, basically that as well. I think I've I've touched on a full-fledged strategy.
You've done
Yeah,
that. You've done that. Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you. It's going pretty well. Uh,
yeah.
while
But then sometimes too, you can come up with your strategy. When you are done, then you come up with a full media plan. So you can come up with your strategy. And then with the strategy, has the content ideas, the content pillars, and all that. Now you then have to come up with a actual media plan. Now the actual media plan is where the earn, paid, and own will be coming in. So when it comes to awareness piece, what are the paid activities you'll be doing? What are the earn activities you'll be doing? What are the own activities you'll be doing? Basically ideas. And then when it comes to consideration phase, the three forms of media, what will you be doing? What exactly will you be doing? All those things, all it's all part of it. So yeah, I'll put it out. So it's more of like uh, 3 to 4 layers, 3 to 4 layers activities before you get into you kickstart your campaign. Yeah, right. And even
that's amazing. Thank you.
and even and even and even your paid media activity, you still have to work on your
Yeah.
media spend plan, your budget and all that, how much you're spending on each platform. For instance, we all, a lot of marketing um, experts know of let's say the meta, running ads on meta and all that. But then to go further, when you have a project that you are supposed to target, you are in Ghana, but you are supposed to target people in the UAE, supposed to target people in Europe, you are supposed to target people in US. What do? You have to introduce programmatic advertisements. Meta wouldn't be able to do all the works you want to do. So the likes of Estimate coming in, yeah, the likes of Estimate coming in, and Eskim is a platform that help with programmatic advertisement, but it's very, very expensive. So when you go on their platform, they have the brands that work with them. You see the likes of MTN, you see the likes of Vodafone and all that. So yeah, basically that. But I think today we are talking for the SMEs and the startups. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for extensively answering that. I mean, she can just drop a question, and while we are there, if you have a question, something pops into your mind, you can also put that in the comment in the chat box as well. We'd love to hear that. So Sika is
Alright.
asking, the paid ads, is it still working? Any tip for us? What have you observed personally?
Okay, so when it comes to paid ads, okay, as a business, you are not the only one in the industry.
Mm,
Um, you have to pay attention to your competitors, the kind of ads or the kind of product they are running out there. And someone will say, how do you do that? Because at the end of the day, you can't be on the TL waiting to see that this competitor is running ad on this particular product. You can check on the Meta Ads library. When you open the Meta Ads, please take notes. When you open the Meta Ads library, you can search for a particular brand, and in that week you will see all the products they are running ads on. Then that
okay.
can inform your decision. Should I also get some products and all that? So you have to see the social or meta ads as you have to see it from engagement and awareness standpoint. You get me? Because when you're running the ads, there are lots of um factors that influence a lot of things. For
Mm.
instance, when you're running the ads, okay, I'll put it that your competitor might be spending $20 a day, okay, and then you are spending $5 a day. Trust me, Meta is looking for money. They are more of like capitalist people. So
Yeah,
just answer yourself which one would be real, which one would be getting the result which one will be garnering the most engagement and awareness stuff. So at the end of the day, you have to figure out a way. It's just the system, you being able to automate things. So but then um right now Meta has an approach that you can actually tap on the ad and then it takes you straight to WhatsApp.
okay,
Takes
yeah.
you straight to WhatsApp. I think you should be able to run those conversion ads so that people can actually reach out to you directly straight. So I think when you see Meta ads as awareness and engagement points of when you see Meta ads as awareness and engagement stamp yeah, point of view, you should be able to set it up and then run it and then get the result you are looking out for. Yeah, basically that's so.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank,
that's what I have to say. Yeah.
thank you for giving us your perspective. And while we're at it, when somebody decide, when you decide to run your ad and you're wondering, oh, maybe Bernard just spoke about running ads and then getting the traffic on WhatsApp. That's one of the powerful ways like to actually market lately. But since we're talking about WhatsApp, right, Intelli has chatbot solutions that actually run on WhatsApp. So
Mm-hmm.
you are no more living in the days where you have to literally answer every message yourself, like go back and forth, answer this, how much is it? Can you discount? How much is it? This one, do you deliver here? You can just set up those things in the internet platform and then it runs for you very easy at the best price in the market. So definitely check out Intelli right from this meeting or right after here. Bernard, you spoke about paid ads. I love what you said. But there's something that there's another part of marketing that people are very interested in. For me, it amazes me. There's this story that happened recently where a certain lady and a CEO were caught at the stadium. It was a concert. The lady was caught uh, in the stadium. They were cheating. They were in a very romantic moment. I think they were kissing or something like that. The whole stadium saw it. When the image went viral on the internet, the family of the wife discovered it, the husband asked for divorce, and everything was all of this is a big scandal, right? But the company of that CEO and the lady who was working in the company decided that they were going to turn that entire story into a PR stunt or find a way to make a story out of it. So I'm bringing that because I feel like there are little moments in our lives, there are things that we see around us that by having a certain amount of traffic and create more loyalty. How do you perceive storytelling personally in your journey as a marketer? How can it be used from a business perspective to cause growth and build greater trust?
I think storytelling for me is 100% is 100% pillar for me for every
Yes.
business. Okay, but
Okay.
then you see we should be observing some things. Okay, the platforms, the channels, the media in general at the end of
Yeah.
the day, right, has become so ephemeral.
Mm.
Okay, has become so ephemeral that what the story you just said, right?
Yeah.
How long has it been on the surface of the media? I think it just took probably 1.5 months, and that was it. You
Pretty
see,
much.
but then yeah, but then for me, I would say that storytelling should be able to once once you tell a good story for your brand or for your business, it projects the image of your business. Therefore, um, your team at the end of the day should again have to be in sync. to be able to what speak a particular language in which um the story or whatever you did attracts your audience. So it's being able to attract your audience. Now a traffic will happen. Once the traffic happens, engagement will take place. Once engagement takes place, if your your people or your reps or again your sales team is able to figure it out, score it 100% with their engagement well, it then develop into long-term loyalty for the business. So storytelling is solid for me. It's a good thing for me. But then sometimes we should consider where we are going as far as the media space is concerned. So that is for me. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if I've been able to answer your question well.
I think you did. You did to some extent. The main idea was actually there. Was captured there. So there are many business owners here, and the fact that they are in here shows that they want to grow their business. They want to do big things. But the thing about starting small is that you are often limited by capital in a form, particularly financial capital or cash in a way. In your journey in the marketing field, what you observe lately, what are some of the cost-effective ways to produce high reach? You know we're going there, right? We're not going to go. We cannot skip that question. What's the way to like
Yeah.
use small money to do a lot, or use no money to do a lot as well?
Well, should I tell you the truth?
Talk to me.
The platforms has become expensive. Okay,
Hmm.
and the
When you talk about
what
platform,
are
what are you talking about
the
exactly?
I mean the channels, the meta tools, the Instagram, the Facebook, the X, the
Hmm.
threads. Like we are in the digital age, and basically your digital channels or platforms, the digital platforms or channels are not left out when you are embarking on your marketing campaign or activity. Okay, and so the truth is the channels have become so expensive. But then answering your question, okay,
Yeah.
you should be able to, the most cost effective activity you can do is doing whatever, like doing your offline activity and you being able to transfer that offline activity online. But then it's going to still be an own media or own digital media activity. And now the platforms, when it comes to organic performance, they just do little for you. You can have 1,000 followers, you can have 1,000 followers and you put a video out there and you just get 15 people viewing it, or you get 20 people viewing it, or you get 50 people viewing it. But then how do you maximize it? You still have to figure out a way to incur some paid activity. So I think me being able to discover the forms of media has helped me along my journey so well that I think in 2023 I just sat down to, I think I was going through the influencer marketing framework done by Nestle. I think in 2022 I was going through that document, and then it sparked into my head that I have to work on a digital media framework where I had to ask a few questions few questions industry friends and colleagues and all that to come up with that digital media framework. I'll share the document with you, Neka, and then you can share it to everyone via email after the session.
Thank you
So
so much. That's
yeah,
beautiful. That's kind of you.
yeah. So you being able to, basically you being able to, whatever the partnerships you are doing, the stakeholder engagement activities you are doing, you should be able to what figure out a way to transfer them from offline onto online. And so at the end of the day, organic, you end up doing organic activities. Then when you want to do amplification, you figure out a way to what, you figure out a way to add, do some media spend to amplify your performance, to get the eyeballs you are looking out for. And yeah, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You spoke earlier on about you having that experience where you're working with some people and it seems like they were not getting some fundamentals like showing up every day. It seems like a part of marketing has to do with consistency, actually a big part of it. But the
Mm-hmm.
challenge with many of us who start a business or maybe start a marketing campaign, right, is our consistency. We don't want to start and be high for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden we don't see you again. So how do you manage to be consistent in marketing without burning out? What's the truth about it? You've been in this for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. I think in 2022, okay, I think 2022 was a year that I really didn't want to compromise like anything that would drop my performance, my marketing performance. So um, just figuring out a way to always increase the numbers month on month. So for me, I've been able to come up with a whatever you do in Q1. You remember in the beginning of the session, I mentioned that um, oh, I think I'm losing my chain of thoughts. But then let's start this all over. Um, whatever you do in Q1, the results. So I
The
remember.
quarterly rule.
Remember that when yeah. Well, if you remember, I mentioned at the beginning of the session that the okay. Let me just start it all over. Yeah, the quarterly rule. Okay, whatever
Yeah.
you do in Q1, you see the results in Q2. Okay. Now, if you remember, um, I mentioned that you would to I don't know when I explained the Q1 and Q2, I get what I said, but
The
when I
continuation.
want to say it, I forget. Okay, you let me just explain it again.
And you can know something, bringing it out is something else. It's a
Yeah.
different thing.
So
So thank
yeah.
you for
So
you are doing what's good. We
what
appreciate it.
yeah. So what it is whatever you do in Q1, you see the result in Q2. Okay. Yeah, so basically, marketing at the end of the day, you see it in long term, don't see it in short term. I think that was what I said. I just remembered it. So now let me explain the quarterly rule. So whatever you do in Q1, expect the result in Q2. Okay, and so whilst you're in Q1 executing the plans for Q1, you should start planning for Q2. So that when you enter Q2, when you're executing plans for Q2, whilst you're in execution, the result for Q1 should be reflected in Q2. And then it runs into Q3. So the result for Q2 should reflect in Q3. And then um, whatever you are doing in execution for Q3, you should expect the result in Q4. For that, it actually gives you clarity on what you need to do. As far as you have your strategy in place, have your media plan in place, you have your weekly plans sorted out, you have your monthly plans. End of month, you come up with your report, you explore your key learnings, you then move forward. So it gives you clarity. You don't just overwhelm yourself. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's very good. I think some time back when we started, like when I started agency, working in agency, we just come up with 1 month's plan, and then client is happy, and then we go forward. But then we progressively moved from monthly plans to quarterly plans, and then from quarterly plans to yearly plans. And even there are agencies in the industry ahead of us that even come up with 5 years plan. So the agency term is you've been able to marry the clients because you've given a full forecast into the future for the client. So some of us where we've got into we come up with 1 year plan, 2 years plans, and I think the maximum I've done is 3 years. Yeah, basically. Yeah, so staying consistent is using the quarterly rule I just shared as well. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that makes so much sense using the quarterly rule. So I'll briefly summarize it as like having a bigger picture of what you are doing
Yeah.
and giving time for the results to show. You don't just put in now, expect that all of a sudden the sales are going to change. But at the end of the day, you still need to keep track of the results and
Hello. Hello.
Okay, so I think Neka is having some network issues, but just before he gets back and then he says what he was saying, there's some questions in the chat. The first one is from Gregory. He says that for an SME with no prior experience in marketing, what are the ideas that one can start with as part of efforts to grow?
Mm, mm, okay. Um, I think I would, with that question, okay, as an SME, you have to figure out someone you can, if you can't even pay someone of marketing at the end of the day is more of like based on experience, then you pay the person and all that. But then sometimes you come up with a team and then you realize that there's someone who is actually someone who can run with the ideas for you, someone who can really communicate the business for you and all, communicate with the business for you also. I think you being able to you basically as an SME, no matter what, you the business owner or the founder or the CEO, you shouldn't be doing the marketing yourself. You need someone who who can be dedicated to the marketing activity. If it's only social media, he or she is doing something until you find your feet. So I'll advise that you dedicate someone to actually handle that part of it for you. Yeah, so that it gives some traction from the beginning, from the beginning, or when you launch your business and then into the future. So basically that's the answer I can give. There's more conversation to it if I'm to go deeper, so, but basically you still need someone because yeah, with no is it well, with no prior experience in marketing, yeah, but at the end of the day you still have to sell. I actually went to do a presentation at 355 place around Jowulu. And then after the presentation, the guy was like, hey, I did so well, but he just wants me to know that I shouldn't give up on the marketing because at the end of the day, after the boardroom meetings, the product design, everything, engineering coming to do whatever they can do, they still have to figure out a way to sell their products or whatever they've come up with. And so marketing is needed in every conversation. So as an SME, as a founder or as an SME founder, don't I don't advise that you do your marketing yourself. Get someone, let the person do it for you. Be dedicated to it. Yeah. So basically that's the question I can give. That's the answer I can give for that. Yeah. Thank you.
awesome, awesome. Thank you. I think we come back to the conversation again.
Yeah.
What are some of the mistakes that you see around when it comes to a marketing strategy? When maybe you look around at a brand, maybe on a billboard, maybe on social media, it's okay, these people are getting it wrong. These are supposed to be done. Or maybe even your own journey. What are some of the mistakes that you see happening and how is it supposed to be fixed?
Let me just use the recent one I've observed, okay, so
Okay.
that that one is more caring. That one you can relate to it so well. So when the iPhone 17 was released, okay, did you pay attention to the retailers in this country? Some were putting out the prices, okay, okay, these amounts of it. But then when a tech product is being launched, when you launch a tech, if it's like when let's say Nintendo releases Switch 2, what happens is the price for the first week is up. Okay, the price for the first week is up, and after some time it goes down. So at the end of the day, you are not supposed to, you as a retailer, you're not supposed to bring your neck out like that. What you can do is put a message out there, let people know that you have it available but without price, so that when people can reach out to people reach out to you to inquire, you can give them the price, so that it saves you some credibility. Because at the end of the day, let's say the product has been released today, you put a message out there that you have it available, you are selling it for this, and 3 weeks or 2 weeks later, you still put it out there that you are selling it for this and the prices are down. Someone that came to buy in the first week from you will say that, I can't buy the thing this amount, and weeks later you reduce some things. Your credibility is dropping. See, and you'll be losing customers in the long run. So
Yeah.
answer. Um, and also I think setting realistic goals. I think when it was sometime back. Okay, so I think I've used a current mistake, and maybe some years back we went to sign off a contract with a fintech product, and then we went to promise more than we can deliver, and uh, yeah, we went to promise more than we can deliver. We were think we when it comes to sign-ups and yeah, basically sign-ups and or action-driven decisions, we told them that we can achieve it in a month. So we had gotten influencers, we have paid, we're paid in dollars. We disperse the money to parties involved, like third parties involved and all that. And then again, when you start a campaign, the first week will determine the result of the campaign. So just as how we promise that what we are going to deliver in the first month, the first week didn't go well, and then the second week client decided to let us halt the campaign, and then they told us that they wouldn't want us to continue, and they had to let us pay back, like refund the money. Now, some of the influencers we were working with were outside the country, some were in Europe and all that. Some didn't pay back. Charlie, it took us a whole 2 years or so to finish paying, and Charlie, it was too much. So basically, you should be able to set up realistic goals so that you don't overwhelm yourself as well too. Yeah. So basically, that's the answer to that question. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I think there's actually a natural tendency to always want to overthink what you can do when it comes to market
Yeah.
messaging. I've observed that, and I think it's actually a natural part of the common marketer, because we are
Right.
usually breathing. We see possibilities, and sometimes those possibilities are not always tied to reality. So I think over time we get more grounded. Now, when in an age where so much is happening every time, there is a study that proved that if you literally every 3 months or even every 6 months, algorithm on social media platform are always evolving. Today this thing is trending. Tomorrow this is no more trending. Now it's hashtag. The next day is this and that. Right? How do you keep up? How does a business man keep on innovating or keep up with the continuous rate of innovation in social media?
I think regardless what happens online, you still have to commit to your customer service feedback activities. And in committing to your brand promise, okay, you should be flexible enough to test new formats or new trends as you mentioned.
Mm.
But testing is different from scaling. So if you want to, you can only scale when it fits your brand promise. So basically, you don't have to underestimate your customer feedback activities. Always make sure that again, knowing your audience, customer feedback activities is what should drive the key activities to be doing on your social media platforms. But then new trends will come in, new formats will come in. Make sure you test it first. If it works, now you get to the next level that you have to scale it. But then you can only scale it if it fits your brand promise. Basically, what you are actually, the kind of image you are projecting over there. Yeah, so that's what I can say.
That's awesome. Thank you. There is a still in the realm of social media and the many channels that are available, right? When a business is starting their marketing like campaigns or starting their to deploy their marketing strategy, the way you look at the current social media age or even like business, particularly in maybe Ghana and some parts of Africa, right? In general, in the world, the global landscape in general, what's the easiest platform to start with as you see it now? Which channel should somebody focus on? And maybe what's the next one? What are maybe the first two or first channel to focus on when you're starting currently?
Hmm. Um, for right now, the channels have been able to adapt themselves in a way that any form of media, yeah, any form of content actually suits that platform. Now, the leading form of content is video. That is the portrait versions and co, the reels and the likes. Okay, so um, videos I think are on video is being accepted on I think three to four platforms, the likes of Instagram, um, Facebook X, and which one? Yes, and yeah,
TikTok.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. Now, all those me, I don't have any problem with a platform. I don't have any problem with any platform at all. But then again, the forms of media. Trust me, if you master the forms of media, how to match paid and earned to get the right result, it's in the digital media framework I came up with in 2023. If you're able to master it right, you will not have any problem whether if you go on this platform, will you be able to get a result if you are looking out for and all that. No. As far as the platform has potential of your like the potential of you getting connected to the target audience you are looking out for and all that, you are good to go. So yeah, it also depends on your the industry you find yourself in. So currently, the startups coming up are all coming up with niche focused products, and if you're coming up with niche focused products, if you're coming up with niche focused products, you just have to personalize your activities. Now, what else? I think you should, beyond the platforms or beyond the channels, you should be able to do things in a reversal approach. For instance, back then businesses want to leave everything in the hands of the customer to decide when they can book, when they can come for this, when they can come for the product and all that. But in this part of the world, when it comes to sales, you have to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive because at the end of the day, what your competitor is doing, Charlie, you have no idea. You can just read from the outside. You get me? But there are some things that some of us do, that connections that some of us do, that we get to they are coming up with this campaign, they are coming up with this, they are doing this and all that. So basically, so the reversal approach now, when you move from, so like the reversal approach I said, the customers, businesses are leaving used to leave everything in the hands of the customers. Now you have to reverse it. So you instead of saying that, okay, um send instead of, let's say, you say, oh, send us a message, or I don't know how to put this, but then basically the reversal approach is the other way around. If you do it the other way around, number one, the customer will have a tailored experience, because at the end of the day, is there's someone dedicated answering the questions or anything the customer is asking. You get me? So yeah, basically that. So the channels and yeah, I think I've touched on it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, that was nice. Thank you for really touching on that. I like your perspective when it comes. I would definitely love to see the framework that you worked on, because
Yeah.
there's sometimes we are so quick to say, oh, it's TikTok, oh, it's YouTube, oh, it's Facebook, this and that. By the end of the day, when you master the forms, there's a lot that happen. You become literally very much unstoppable. The forms
Yeah.
are the real things to focus on.
Okay.
Awesome. But now we're heading towards the end of this interview, and I personally just have one question for you. If there is somebody who is starting a business today, just started, and has this picture of building a brand where there's true customer loyalty, there's trust between them and the customers, where should they start from? What should be the first thing that they should do to achieve that goal from day one?
I think I think your sales team,
Hmm.
your sales team together with your CRM management tools, your customer relationship management tools. I think what Intel is doing is great, and uh, the tools they are coming up with, the AI integration among other activities, is so solid. So at the end of the day, the sales team should be conversant with these kind of tools, the CRM tools and other AI, um, yeah, AIs that can help them assist in doing their work efficiently. So I would say that again, when you are starting, you don't have to play. You don't have to play. You have to be really, really aggressive so that you can actually capture some set number of people with your sales activity, and then you have to really, really monitor your competitors. You have to really monitor your competitors, and also in monitoring your competitors, it gives you the idea of, it informs the kind of product you want to put out there. Okay, sometimes you can realize that the space you find yourself, everybody is pushing a particular product, everybody is pushing a particular product. Then you switch small to tap into some set of audience, and then you move to another set. It's just you being able to lock some things. You don't just do everything that is out there. You still have to be intentional as well. So your sales team, a solid sales team, I don't know, in the beginning of my career, I never like to mention sales in my conversation, but lately I really mention it a lot, because at the end of the day, it's the sales. When the sales team is 10/10, it
Hmm.
makes the marketing efforts makes so much sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think
Wow.
that's all I can say for now.
The sales team. I guess for the ones
Yeah,
starting,
sales team, and the CRM tools,
please.
including the AI stuff. For instance, what Intel is doing, the amazing stuff Intel is doing as well. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So definitely check out the Intelli platform. That's a good place to start from. And when you're a business owner, literally like building trust cannot be underestimated. It has to do with communication, and the right tools to make it work will make everything so simple for you. With our custom chatbot, the solutions that we're building, you're able to collect data from the customers, hear about their problems, hear about their issue. So,
Your
oh,
network,
wow.
your network.
How is it now? Is it better?
It's better now.
All right, sure. So we were told that I mean, Bernard spoke about the fact that go with the sales team, go with the CRM. Maybe you are not having a big team currently. Maybe you don't have the capital to sustain a team. But one sure thing is that you definitely have enough resource to get an Intelli chatbot or an Intelli tool that will help you manage customer relationship or customer communication. That could be a good place to start for, and get enough and get accustomed enough with the customers, know their issues, know their problem, and being able to serve them better. So now we run right into the audience to pick some questions from there. I saw a question coming from Yeah. Okay. I think here from Sika. Should ads be run with video or a graphic? In your opinion, like when it comes to ads, what do you think? What's the best media form when it comes to ads? How do you think about it?
I think for awareness, completely awareness, for instance, where the metric is to generate traffic to your page. For instance, example, visit Instagram profile.
Yeah.
You have to use videos. Use videos.
So
And
awareness
then
video.
yeah, and then for conversion, where you want people to send you a message to your Instagram DM or to your Instagram to your WhatsApp,
Yeah.
use graphics.
Okay.
Graphics that
Why
are
do you do
carousels.
that though? Why graphics? Why carousels? Why the difference?
The question again.
Yeah,
Why graphics?
what makes graphics so powerful when it comes to bringing conversion? I think that
I
is
think I
interesting.
think I think for e-commerce, okay, for e-commerce,
Yeah.
when it comes to graphics, you come up with shoppable content where there's product and price and contact and location details on the graphics. It's straightforward. You put it out
Mm.
there. It's conversion focused. It has the link attached to it. Send a WhatsApp message or chat us on WhatsApp. It's straightforward. But with the videos are very engaging. I don't know which form of content people
Maybe
play.
they are too engaging actually for the good of conversion.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so basically that's where and then um the shoppable content I mentioned, okay, when it comes to shoppable content I explained, it can be in it's in relation to e-commerce. So just as how the product price, location details, contacts and all that is on one graphic, you can swipe to another option. There's another product there. So you put it, let's say max, because of attention span, you put five slides or five graphic or artworks together, you put it out there. It's just basically for conversion. And then video, because videos are engaging enough, like people can engage, people can relate to it because you are telling a story. People, yeah, you are telling a story and all that. You just have to drive traffic to the page because trust me, videos are engaging. We all know that videos are engaging than graphics. So if videos are engaging, it's getting you enough engagement, and you have to direct them to the page for them to see the options of products you have available. So you have to let people go to the page to go and see other amazing stuff you are doing on the page. And then when it comes to graphics, use graphics to do your conversion activities. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So the last question, I think is an interesting one. It goes in a very special direction. So somebody is asking, how do they get their product to be in supermarkets, in shopping malls? I think they're asking it from a general marketing perspective. I think they're asking